You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Missouri Southern rolls out the green carpet for an episode of the College Tour.
And our very own Missouri Southern graduate, Yana Hadula, joins us live in studio to talk about Water Garden's 10th annual Empty Bowls event.
And it's a very chilly start to the morning. Your morning drive looking good so far, but changes are on the way, both good and bad. We're going to break down all of those changes coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Missouri Southern is in the spotlight for an online program. The university rolled out the green carpet for the premiere of a new episode of the program, the College Tour. Each episode of the show highlights campus life and colleges and universities around the globe, with students sharing personal stories about their experience. MSSU episode was filmed in April with 10 students interviewed.
So my segment was Life at MOSO. So I talk about just like student organizations and like fraternities and sororities. I talk about the rec center. So it's just kind of a general picture of what students can expect at Missouri Southern.
That's our very own Yana Hadula, who is a part of the first episode. To watch that episode on Missouri Southern, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Speaking of Yana, some Southwest Missouri artists and soup makers have once again put their talents together to help feed the ones who are in need. KOAM's Yana Hadula joins us live in studio to talk about this annual event. Good morning.
Good
You were
morning.
busy yesterday.
Oh yes, yes, we were busy. Thanks, Tanya. The 10th annual Empty Bowls event will take place this morning at Empire Market in Joplin. This is a unique fundraising event where artists and restaurants work together for a great cause. Pottery artists and soup makers from Southwest Missouri participate to make bowls and soup for people to purchase. The money raised from these sales will directly go to 4 privately funded organizations that prevent hunger as part of their ministry.
It's a beautiful event that brings everyone together. There are beautiful handcrafted bowls. We've got generous restaurants that have donated all this delicious soup, and it really brings everyone together either over lunch or dinner, and they can celebrate the fact that every bowl is worth 15 meals, and then they also have something they can take home as a reminder.
The sale for the Empty Bowls event took place earlier in the fall, and they sold more than 300 bowls. Everyone is welcome to participate today from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. A minimum of $25 donation is asked for each bowl, but people are also encouraged to donate more.
All right, and in addition to the artists, a lot of restaurants are participating as well, right?
Oh yes, yeah, almost 20 restaurants are making soup for this event, so it's great.
And you can't beat this. It's perfect soup weather.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Yana. Well, classes have resumed at the University of Idaho following Sunday's horrific discovery of 4 students killed near campus. Police in the town of Moscow, Idaho, are facing some criticism for taking days to release information on the investigation. Elise Preston has new details now emerging that have many in the community questioning their safety.
First, my deepest condolences to the families. Their loss has been devastating.
For 4 days, police in Moscow, Idaho said very little about what they knew about 4 University of Idaho students who were killed inside this home across the street from campus. Now, investigators are not only releasing more details, but also doing an about-face on their initial claim that they didn't believe others could potentially be at risk.
We believe this was an isolated, targeted attack on our victims. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there. We cannot say that there's no threat to the community.
Police say the 4 students were stabbed early Sunday. Hours later, a 911 call led police to discover the bodies of Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogen, and Ethan Chapin. Chapin spent the night. The other 3 victims were roommates. 2 of the victims were seen in this surveillance video shortly before they were killed.
No weapon has been located at this time. There was no sign of forced entry into the residence.
Investigators say 2 other people were found in the home unhurt. This morning, classes have resumed, but fearful students are leaving the campus ahead of the Thanksgiving break. Comments like, "Killers still at large. How can you reassure us the kids are safe?" flood the university's Facebook page. One professor tweeted, "Until police release more info or confirm a suspect, I can't in good conscience hold class." Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Police are not saying what the two people found alive inside the home are telling them, nor why they believe it took several hours before someone called 911. Police also defend their slow release of information, insisting they did not want to compromise the ongoing investigation. Moscow, Idaho has not experienced any homicides since 2015.
All right, look at this day in weather history. And on this day back in 1869, a train near Boston Corners, New York was blown off the tracks by high winds. The train ended up crashing down a ravine and caught fire and ended up killing 3 people. So that's a reminder of how powerful wind can be. As we head into the afternoon, 12 o'clock, you can see a kind of a rain-snow mix north of Highway 54. And as the evening progresses, this is about 4 o'clock, that rain-snow mix starts to sink further south right along Highway 54. And once we get past that and temperatures fall, that rain-snow mix takes off for the south. You can see some rain showers over in parts of southeast Kansas, that mixture of maybe some sleet and snow here in the pink, and then some light snow in that blue. And that'll continue. This is 10 o'clock tonight. It starts to overspread the entire area. And then as we head into early tomorrow morning, a stray snow shower flurry is possible. We're only looking at maybe a dusting to possibly a ½ inch of snow across the area. We're not looking at a major snowfall or anything like that. Cold in the area right now, though, 24 degrees in Joplin, and it feels like 17. It is cold across the entire region. 24 Chanute, 19 Parsons, Chetopa, 20 Lamar, and 22 in Carthage. So we go through the rest of the day. We're looking at a warmer day, high of 46, and then that wintry mix moves in later this evening. Some light snow possible tonight as we drop back down to a low of 22 degrees. When we head into tomorrow, only 32 for the weekend. We start to warm up, and by next week, we're closer to normal. Temperatures in the 50s to near 60 degrees. And overnight lows, of course, warming up nicely as well as we head into the holiday week next week.
Well, up next, a new study shows tobacco smokers who smoke weed may increase already existing lung damage.
And later, we're going to meet a reporter gets tickled by a baby elephant. I was just watching this. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, a new study shows marijuana may not be safer than tobacco. The preliminary study is from the Journal of Radiological Society of North America. It shows there may be increased damage to the respiratory system if a tobacco user smokes weed. The study compared chest scans from 56 people who smoked marijuana and tobacco with scans of those who just had been heavy cigarette smokers for over 25 years. They found 75% of those who smoke both marijuana and tobacco had emphysema, while 67% of those who only used tobacco did. Emphysema is a disease of the small airway that causes damage to the air sacs in the lungs. Researchers say airway damage can be permanent, but when inflammation is caught early, it can be reversible. They also noted the study had limitations because it was small and there was not much information on how the weed was inhaled. Researchers say this study reiterates that anything inhaled is not clean air and could irritate the lungs.
We have got a cold start to the day across the area. Even though your morning drive looks good, changes are on the way. We're going to break it all down coming up. As we head into the holiday season, a lot of four-staters are struggling to pay for food, but a local organization is making a difference. We're going to take a look at the Rotary Club in Pittsburgh. It's helping raise funds for the Lord's Diner during their annual phone-a-thon event. Our very own Carrie Wortham was there to see what it's all about.
So this is one of the biggest things that our club does.
The Pittsburgh Noon Rotary Club calls area residents to encourage them to pledge or donate to the Lord's Diner, which provides nutritious meals to anyone who is hungry.
Our club decided to make this our primary local philanthropy. And so all 100 members just really got behind the cause and said that this is something that we feel that is important, not only for our community, but for humanity. And we wanted to be a part of it. And so, we're really proud that we've been able to raise several $100,000 over the last few years.
It costs the diner $1 a day for each meal, with approximately 300 people being served daily. This is all possible through generous donations.
But, we're calling folks up and just saying, look, it's been a year since you donated to the Lord's Diner. It's the giving season. Would you please consider a generous donation once again this year?
Last year's Phonathon raised $215,000, and this year the group hopes to raise $225,000. The Lord's Diner serves meals 365 days a year and recently took the show on the road and is now meeting guests in their neighborhoods and on their streets thanks to their new food truck.
We know there's a lot of need in our community, and so knowing that our club can be at least a small part of helping to ensure that there is less need, I think everybody who's here tonight feels the same way, that we're just happy to be a part of it. If everybody helps just a little bit, and you put all those pieces together, you can make some really great progress.
In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Now, if you're interested in donating to Lord's Diner, you can find information on our website at koamnewsnow.com. All right, heading into the noon hour today, we're looking at a rain-snow mix north of Highway 54. And as the evening moves on, we get into the early evening, you can see that rain-snow mix starts to move a little further to the south, right along Highway 54. This is by about 4 o'clock today. And then as the rest of the afternoon and evening goes on, temperatures, of course, will begin to fall. So this is why we call it a wintry mix, because it's going to be chilly where it's raining, but it could still be rain. Here's the mix portion: rain, snow, sleet, all that good stuff in the pink, and then some light snow in the blue. And as the evening goes on and temperatures continue to fall, we'll see more of the light blue and some light snow possible across the area, and then a potential round of some light snow again early tomorrow morning as this system begins to exit. Now, if you like the snow, I have bad news. If you don't like the snow, I have great news. It just depends. We're looking at only about a dusting to half an inch for most of us across the area. 7th range line, you can see the clouds are going to start to increase as the day goes on. We're clear all right for now. It's 24, feels like 17 in Joplin. It is still cold across the area, but we have a slightly warmer day in store despite the wintry mix on the way. 24 Chanute, 19 Parsons, Chatopa, 24 Miami, 20 Anderson, 21 Lamar, and 25 in Nevada. As we go through today, like I said, warmer, 46 for the high before it starts to cool off, and that excuse me, that wintry mix gets in here. As the evening goes on, the light snow, wintry mix possible, dropping down to 22. We do not do a lot of warming tomorrow. We only get up to 32, but then we'll take a look at the weekend, start to warm up just a little bit, and as we head into next week and into Thanksgiving, temperatures return to normal as we get close to about 60 degrees. We're going to be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Staff Sergeant Micah Roth. The Joplin, Missouri native served in Iraq and in Afghanistan from 2003 to 2010 as part of the 203rd Army National Guard. To Staff Sergeant Micah Roth, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
Well, Baby Elephant got more than her 15 minutes of fame by stealing the spotlight from a reporter.
You're going to want to see this. Jeannie Moose has the story.
Who isn't tickled pink when they see baby elephants? But this aspiring reporter was actually tickled
and disrupting the circle of life
as he tried to shoot a stand-up for Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Save our wild species and provide a home.
Posted one commenter, "That elephant has a nose for news." Intern reporter Alvin Kaunda told Ghetto Radio he had done 10 takes trying to nail his stand-up when the elephant's trunk nailed him. "I just felt the ticklish trunk, but tried to keep my cool." The elephant is an orphan named Kindani, living at the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya. A keeper described her as one of the cleverest elephants he's ever met. Alvin learned a lesson I learned early on at my first job in TV.
Like my friend here.
Animals steal the show, be it pig or hippo.
She seems to like to be mocked. Okay, just kidding.
Instead of almost getting chomped, Alvin got trunked, and the pachyderm seemed to have an eye for the camera. All that exploring must have left the elephant wondering, what a tiny trunk you have, human. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
I have yet to have an animal experience quite like that in my years of reporting. I will say this. So a few years back, there was this gentleman and his friend, and they were taking a wagon, a covered wagon by horseback from way down in Oklahoma and up through Kansas, back into Missouri, and then back down. And we caught up with them in Ottawa County, just beyond the state line from Kansas. And so I'm getting video of them and all that, and I was getting a cool shot of their horse, one of their horses and all this. And a car drove by, and something spooked that horse, and it kicked my camera. The camera did not enjoy being kicked so much. I lost a piece or two off of it. So that was, I guess that's the most interesting animal experience that I've had so far, is just I had a horse kick the camera.
I can't remember why we had a snake in the studio, but I did have a snake that I was holding, try to go into my jacket. But I mean, I quickly stopped it. But yeah, that was
I don't think I could do a snake very well whatsoever. We do have some cold temperatures out there right now, as you can see across the 4 states. It is chilly, and it is going to remain chilly. However, a little bit warmer today, 46 for the high. And then as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, we're going to start to see a wintry mix move into the area, transitioning to maybe some light snow overnight and into early tomorrow morning. So we drop back down to a low of only 22 degrees, and 7-day forecast, only 32 on Friday. And then by the time we get Saturday, Sunday, take a look. We get a little bit warmer, and we move into next week and even warmer. But I want to caution you, on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, 62 for the high, but still bring your jacket, because we're going to start to drop back down with those rain showers, 32 for the low. Maybe some early morning snow on Black Friday, 38. So we do have a little bit of a warm stretch after we get through a few more cold days, and then we return back to cold weather by the end of next week. We're back with more right after this.
State's most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:26. Missouri Southern is in the spotlight with a new show. The university yesterday rolled out the green carpet for the premiere of a new episode of the show, The College Tour. Now, each episode highlights campus life at colleges and universities around the globe, with students sharing personal stories about their experience. The MSSU episode was filmed in April with 10 students interviewed.
The first school in our state to sign a contract with them to produce this, to then months and months of production meetings, 34 students auditioning, 10 finalists being chosen, and then a buy-in from the campus in the spring when the film crew was here for a week, just shooting crazy schedule all day.
Well, Missouri Southern's episode also features our very own Yana Tula, and you can watch the episode on Missouri Southern by going to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, some Southwest Missouri artists and soup makers have once again put their talents together to help feed the ones who are in need. And KOAM's Yana Tula joins us live in studio this morning to talk about the annual event, Empty Bowls. Yana.
Thanks, Sonia. The 10th annual Empty Bowls event will take place this morning here at the Empire Market in Joplin. I learned about the importance of this unique event where artists and restaurants work together for a great cause. Here is a small sample of the 600 special bowls made with love for a special cause.
We've got generous restaurants that have donated all this delicious soup, and it really brings everyone together either over lunch or dinner, and they can celebrate the fact that every bowl is worth 15 meals, and then they also have something they can take home as a reminder.
Empty Bowls. The event started back in 2012 to raise money for privately funded organizations that prevent hunger as a part of their ministry. Your $25 donation gets you one of these handmade bowls filled with soup.
100% of the proceeds is divided among 4 local and regional organizations to receive the funds. So we have We Care of the 4 states in Joplin, Mission Joplin in Joplin, Water Gardens Ministries, and then Hope Kitchen in Neosho, Missouri.
There's a stamp that Watered Gardens has provided for us so that we have this logo, and then we also put our studio.
Jeffrey Jones from Clay Cup in Neosho has been throwing clay for the cause for a couple of years.
Potters are poor for the most part. We don't have a lot of money to give, but we do have skills, we do have other resources, and we have heart. We really believe in this project.
It takes time to make these bowls. They start early in the late spring, and they always sell out.
Providing more and more bowls every year. We keep adding more potters as we train more potters. So it's a wonderful vehicle for expression of community growth.
Potters from as far as Springfield and Lamar contribute to this fundraiser.
It has the purpose of helping people, and we're thankful to have so many skilled potters in the region who offer us their abilities to come and make as many bowls as we possibly can.
You have a leftover reminder that somewhere someone has an empty bowl, which is kind of the idea of the whole event, is just to raise money for local hunger relief by purchasing a beautifully handcrafted bowl, and then you have something to remember it by.
An empty bowl, reminder of the growing number of empty stomachs in Southwest Missouri. Pre-sale for the Empty Bowls event took place in September, and they sold more than 300 bowls. Everyone is welcome to participate today from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and a minimum of $25 donation is asked for each bowl, but people are encouraged to donate more.
Well, thank you, Yana. Now, did Ruth mention if the bowls were selling quickly? I mean, obviously they sold that first 300, but are they going to sell out fast today, you think?
Yeah, she says that they do sell fast, and usually these people who come there every year, they already know to be there early because they want to pick their favorite bowls. So people, if you want to go there and select your favorite bowl, be quick. That's what she said.
All right, that's a lot of bowls, but they will sell out, so you might choose lunch over dinner.
Oh, yes.
All right, thanks, Yana. Well, some Southwest Missouri students held a food drive for Thanksgiving. Now, this is video from last year where they had a domino run to demonstrate all the items collected and have some fun with those boxes of food. Student council members from Granby and Stella organized classroom competitions from both schools to see who could gather the most non-perishable food items. That food will be put into Thanksgiving baskets and given to patrons of the East Newton School District.
The channels, they can ask for help with the East Newton United Board. They can sign up with a form or a pamphlet that we've got. And also, if they've kind of just been with us, or we know of them, or have been aware of them, they're automatically on as when we know that they need help or assistance from an outside source.
You can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com for information about more community events. Well, this morning, we're continuing to talk about Thanksgiving holiday travel.
Now, people heading home this Thanksgiving are paying more for flights, car rentals, and even hotels. But despite soaring prices, airports nationwide are still expected to be pretty packed.
And according to AAA, nearly 49 million of the nearly 55 million traveling this Thanksgiving will be driving. To avoid the most hectic gridlocks, AAA recommends starting your drive before Wednesday and waiting until after Sunday to return home.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Are you planning to travel anywhere for Thanksgiving? So far, 82% of you say you're not. 18% of you say that you are. We kind of talked about this earlier, where it's just a wonder how much of it is a matter of your friends and family are here locally. And so you don't need to travel necessarily. Not that you don't want to, you just don't need to.
There you go.
Make sure you vote through our website, through the app. Take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Quick check of your forecast for today. We got some clouds starting to build in Joplin. 24, 17 is what it feels like. It is cold across the area right now as well. We got 24 Chanute, 23 Neodesha, 22 in Carthage, and 19 in Monette. Heading for a high of 46 degrees today, and then as the day goes on, temperatures will fall, and we're going to start to see a wintry mix build in later this afternoon, this evening, and that'll overspread the area, maybe leaving us with some light snow overnight and into early tomorrow morning, the low of 22. No major accumulations expected out of any snow we see tonight. We're looking at a dusting to maybe half an inch. We're very cold tomorrow, only 32, and as we get into the weekend, temperatures slowly start to warm up. As you can see, by next week, we start to get back to normal into the 50s to 60 by Wednesday, with some rain chances built in. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're here with Brenna Ruiz and Kelly Perigo.
Hello.
Welcome. You guys are, we got the big craft show coming up at Cecil Floyd. Yes. So we were just talking, that's where I went to elementary school. Goodness gracious, actually, my older sister, myself, and my younger sister all went to Cecil Floyd over the years. And so the craft show was something we did every year. So super exciting time of year, and it just seems like it gets bigger and bigger. So welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about the craft show. When is it coming up this year?
So it is this Saturday, the 19th. Early bird starts from 8 to 9. It's $10 donation to get in the door. And then regular admission is 9 to 4, and it's $3 donation.
All right. And how many vendors and booths do you have this year?
We have a total of 128 vendors, a total of 158 booths.
I mean, that's impressive because
it's probably our biggest one ever.
So far, yes.
So far. So we'll be in every single classroom, in the hallways, in our gymnasium, cafeteria. So we have vendors stuck in every hallway crevice possible.
And does it help having that storm shelter on site now? Because I know that adds a little bit more room to the building compared to what it used to have.
We have probably 20 vendors in that safe room.
And that's just in the safe room. As you mentioned, you're going to be in every classroom. And I know a few years back they added on more classrooms to the school too. So I mean, what's it like for y'all to see this grow over the years to the size that it is now?
It's exciting.
It is really exciting, and it's good for us to see because the benefit goes back to the kids and the teachers and students of Cecil Floyd. So the support has just been wonderful, and I think it's just a testament to the people that started this 31 years ago, that how successful it's been and what it is to the community, really. It's become, a holiday tradition for people to bring their friends and families and shop at the Cecil Floyd Craft Show.
And how much do you guys manage to raise on average? I mean, how's it been going over the years?
We raised quite a bit of money for the school. We've been able to buy electronics, iPads. We've replaced the sound system in the school, and we are able to give teachers opportunity to come and get money, funds to fund things for the classroom, go to conferences. So it really just goes back to the kids, and just without the community support and our vendor support, it wouldn't be possible.
And with the turnout you see every year, I mean, what does that tell you about community support for Cecil Floyd and for the students and teachers at that school?
It's incredible. I know we send out flyers to all the schools in the district, and we have people from every school coming in. So they're all very supportive for us.
All right. And a quick recap, time and date for the craft show.
This Saturday, the 19th, early bird is from 8 to 9, and then 9 to 4 for the regular admission.
All right. And of course, he'll be at Cecil Floyd Elementary School in Joplin, just off of 23rd, 24th and Willard, right off of there.
2201 West 24th.
That's its official address, but if you're familiar with the area, you go down to Willard, you get to about 23rd Street, 24th Street, and you turn, and you can't miss it. If you miss it, I don't know what to tell you. It's easy to spot.
It is.
And of course, we'll have all this information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com, and we'll be right back. All right, we have got a wintry mix on the way, believe it or not, and we're also going to have a warmer day today than we had yesterday, so nice little blend here. Here we are at noon, roughly north of Highway 54. You can see a rain-snow mix starting to build in. You can also see where temperatures are a bit milder. As the day goes on, temperatures begin to fall, and this wintry mix becomes a little more pronounced and starts sagging right onto Highway 54. And once we get past 4 o'clock, it becomes a bit more expansive, and we get that wintry mix from light snow to sleet and rain into light rain showers. All of the weather varieties happening from Missouri back into Kansas and northeast Oklahoma. As we head to tonight, temperatures we're going to continue to drop, and we'll see a little bit more light snow and sleet mix out there, and we may even see some light snow holding on into early tomorrow morning. Now, that's the key word, though. We're talking light. We're looking at maybe a dusting up to ½ an inch. Now, if any of that changes, because you know how winter weather is, just takes a slight shift, and all of a sudden everything changes, we'll let you know, of course, here on KOAM News and in the Skywatch Weather Center. But right now, just a dusting to ½ an inch expected. 24 in Joplin right now. Feels like 17. A few more clouds out there. Clouds expected to increase through the day. 24 in Chanute, 19 Parsons, Chatopa, 24 Miami, 24 in Neosho, 19 in Monette. High of 46 today, so warmer than where we were. As the evening goes on, we'll start to see that wintry mix. Maybe some light snow overnight, dropping back down to a very chilly 22. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, start to warm up heading into the weekend. Got to get through tomorrow, though, 32. And then by next week, heading into Thanksgiving, temperatures get quite nice and quite mild as we get close to 60 degrees and maybe even a rain shower or two on Wednesday. Well, topping Consumer Watch, JetBlue is going to start flying to Paris next summer. On Wednesday, the low-cost carrier said it will initially offer flights between New York and Paris, later adding flights between Paris and Boston. The airline says it expects to begin selling tickets in the coming months, but hasn't yet announced an exact start date for service to Paris. Flights from New York to Paris, One Air France and Delta currently run just over $1,300, and JetBlue intends to price its tickets competitively. This comes after JetBlue started flying to London from New York and Boston last year. That's when it added the single-aisle Airbus A321LR to its fleet. The same plane will be used for the Paris routes. As we head into the busy holiday shopping season, America's two biggest warehouse clubs have declared a hot dog fight in response to recent publicity that Costco would keep its famous hot dog and soda combo at $1.50 forever. Sam's Club fired back. Walmart-owned Warehouse Club announced it has lowered the price of its hot dog and soda combo to $1.38. Not only is its combo 12 cents cheaper, Sam's Club's membership fee is also less than Costco's. Sam's Club also using the promotion to publicize that it has frozen prices on Thanksgiving staples compared to last year. It's not clear yet how Costco will respond, but the winner in all this will likely be millions of Christmas shoppers. Coffee futures are crashing, but don't expect that to translate into a lower price for your cup of joe. Arabica coffee futures have tumbled about 35% since August. Meanwhile, in the year through October, not adjusted for seasonal swings, coffee prices jumped nearly 15% at grocery stores. An agricultural commodities expert says falling coffee futures won't necessarily mean a big decline in prices for consumers. He says other costs like labor and distribution are still high for producers. Construction workers at Tesla's Gigafactory in Texas have filed a complaint with the Department of Labor. Jessica Taylor explains the workers say Elon Musk's company did not pay them as they built the factory, and conditions were so bad, Tesla put employees' health and safety at risk.
Some workers did not receive any pay for a week's worth of work.
Hefty allegations rocking the Tesla Gigafactory. Workers' Defense Project, an organization that fights for low-income immigrant construction industry workers in Texas, says workers have filed their cases with the U.S. Department of Labor, stemming from violations at the Austin-based factory.
We are now hearing from workers who are reporting the exact violations we suspected might happen is what happened. And those include allegations of wage theft and fraudulent OSHA certificates as well.
The Gigafactory held its grand opening event in April with over 15,000 people in attendance, celebrated for its benefits, like creating thousands of jobs and economic growth. Now, claims are emerging alleging the opposite of workers not receiving their proper overtime rate or holiday work payments or safety training during its construction.
We're suspecting there are potentially hundreds more based on reports from workers.
Texas leaders like Congressman-elect Greg Casar and Austin City Council member Vanessa Fuentes are calling for full investigations. The Workers' Defense Communications Director Juan Benitez says this is also a criticism of the Texas construction industry as a whole.
A lack of basic protections for workers. There is no workers' compensation.
The names of the contractors and subcontractors accused have not been released. CBS Austin reached out to Tesla for comment, but has not heard back.
We'll be back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at market prices before the opening bell.
Police officers respond to multiple calls every day.
They deal with the biggest emergencies, and over time, events can blur together.
But as DJ Mano explains, for the people they help, it's an unforgettable memory.
Only 3 years old and wandering in the road, Roberto Tice remembers he was trying to follow his brother.
I do remember being on the side of a road, and then from there I remember then getting picked up by a police officer, and the police officer took me to Taco Bell as a kid, and I remember it was like the best moment of my life.
Shortly after, he entered the foster care system.
I met my foster parents when I was 4, and they came over after that incident, and we went back and forth for 6 years where I would stay 6 months with them and then 6 months with my biological family until 10 years old, and then I was adopted.
Fast forward 24 years and he's about to deploy with the National Guard, but he was hoping to say thank you to the officer who saved his life, Officer Ann Hayes.
It's a lot of joy and it's a lot of gratitude and, very blessing for the officer responding as fast as she did. As reading back on the report, it was a cold night and I was just a little child and I could have been taken, but it makes me very grateful for her response.
The two have never spoken since that day. Administrative Assistant Emma Becerra says she remembers translating for him. Hayes says she vaguely remembers the incident.
We do this like every day, and you never hear what happens to the kids. I never know, if they had a good life, bad life.
Hayes says she's not only surprised he remembered, but she's overwhelmed that he wanted to personally thank her, something she says officers rarely get.
It's great to know that, you actually help somebody. I mean, unfortunately, you see a lot of the negative instead, and it's great to know it's like, oh great, I'm fine, I'm doing something to help somebody,
But it's certainly a moment neither will ever forget.
That little action she did changed my entire life, and I cannot express words of gratitude.
Ty says that moment not only helped shape who...
Well, that's an incredible story. And of course, didn't just shape that particular moment and who he'd become, but he says, kindness and professionalism like that, that he was showed.
Oh, he's joining the National Guard,
Yeah.
and like he's made something of himself, and she played a role. That moment in his life could have been the turning point for him.
A very important role in
Yeah.
his life.
Wow.
We've got some big changes coming onto the forecast. So first, we're going to be a little warmer today than what we saw yesterday. But we're also going to watch a wintry mix. So by noon, we've got some rain and snow north of Highway 54. By 4 o'clock, it's lining up right along Highway 54. So Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Yates Center. Yeah, we're going to see some rain and snow. And then as the evening progresses, temperatures fall. We see it become a little bit more widespread and then a little more light snow. Wave accumulation, at least not at this time. Things can always change. It could get less, it could get more as time goes on. But as you can see, we've got a slight problem with technology. So we're going to change out some batteries here real quick. But take a look. So we're expecting a dusting to perhaps a half inch of snow across the region. And right now, it's pretty darn chilly. It is really difficult to multitask here. So it's chilly across the region right now. As you can see, temperatures still sitting in the 20s, and they will eventually warm up because, as we mentioned, today is going to be slightly warmer than what we saw yesterday. And we'll show you that. 46 for the high is what we're expecting. Then as temperatures start to cool back down, we're just going to hold on to this guy for just a second here. We'll see that wintry mix move in, and then we look at temperatures tonight getting down to 22 degrees. And I want to show you real quick. Sorry about all. Technology. Sometimes batteries make it, sometimes they don't. We are only 32 tomorrow. We start warming up through the weekend, and look at the next week as we head into Thanksgiving holiday. We get into the 50s to 60 degrees. So even though there's some rain showers, we start to get a lot warmer. We'll have more of the KOAM morning news and better working batteries when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. CBS News projects Republicans will win a majority of seats in the House of Representatives, splitting control of Congress with the Democrat-controlled Senate. The GOP's majority will be narrower than they had expected heading into the midterm elections. Current House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is his party's nominee for Speaker, but with the slim majority, it's unclear if he'll gain the 218 votes needed. Well, people in Moscow, Idaho still do not have a suspect in the killings of 4 college students and are now saying they cannot assure the public's safety. Police Chief James Fry said when officers arrived at the house on Sunday to find the students dead, there were also 2 roommates there as well, both of them alive. Fry did not elaborate on their possible involvement, but he did question why the 911 call came hours after the students died. Well, the man who drove his SUV through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin last November has been sentenced to life without parole. Darrell Brooks killed 6 people, including 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, and wounded dozens of others. Some family members of the victims say they will never attend a parade again, while others plan to walk in Waukesha's Christmas parade next month.
It's going to be a warmer day today, 46 for the high, and then as temperatures drop this afternoon and this evening, we see a wintry mix building in. Drop back down to 22 for the overnight low tonight with maybe some light snow. No major accumulations expected, maybe a dusting to half an inch. We're cold tomorrow, only 32. Then we start warming up through the weekend. We're back into the 50s to near 60 to start next week.
Well, adorbs might just sound like a cute abbreviation, but it could also help you win your next round of Scrabble.
It's one of more than 500 new words added to the official Scrabble dictionary. Some other new playable words include dox, zoodle, ambigram, and zedonk.
Which is the combination of a zebra and a donkey.
Yes.
Yes.
And an ambigram is calligraphy.
Oh, that's right.
A type of calligraphy.
Okay. Well, Hasbro and Merriam-Webster have also bent some of the game's rules, and the 7th edition of its dictionary now includes proper nouns like Google and Boriqua.
Other additions are newer to the vernacular, like deepfake, subtweet, vax, and guac. Now, Merriam-Webster says these new words allow players to up their game while celebrating our expanding language.
Sigh.
I can't keep up with half the words. The kids at home say things and I'm like, what? What does that mean? Let me get out my old person.
In our house, Scrabble rules go by the current dictionary in the house.
So what you need to do is get a dictionary from like 100 years ago.
Well, that's how old my kids say my high school graduation dictionary is. So there you go.
Well, we'll see you back here at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.